Hey guys, it's Kelly! So I'm honestly just not gonna go into the I haven't uploaded in like 5,000 years speech, and I'm just gonna go straight into a story time. So I have not done really any like technical story time, so I'm excited to start off, and I have a really good one today, and I'm actually filming this on my iPhone because my Nikon is giving me problems. It stops recording every 2 seconds even though I have space on it. I don't know what's wrong. I have to figure that out. But we'll get right into the video. This is about the time I threw up on the Hulk. And I know what you're thinking. Motion sickness, you can't do rides, you're being a wimp. That's actually absolutely not what it was. Let me give you the whole rundown. So I went to Universal and Disney World on a trip to visit my brother. My brother works in the parks in Universal. So anyways, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. We went to Universal the first day. We did the whole day at that park, and we went to City Walk for lunch and dinner. We went to Hard Rock. But we did the whole day at Universal, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna tackle the next park tomorrow. So we did, the plan was to do Islands of Adventure the next day. On the next day, the morning comes and I'm like, oh great, getting ready for the morning, gonna eat my cereal and get going. Gotta have cereal. Sorry, that was my inner Rebecca Black coming out. So anyways, excuse that. I am getting ready and I'm feeling good, and then out of nowhere, I get this awful heartburn. And I'm not even sure where it came from. I'm like, ugh, I had Panda Express yesterday. Maybe it's like just hitting me or something. I don't really understand why I'm feeling this way, but I'm gonna take an antacid that my husband brought on the trip with us, and then we're gonna go. We were staying at my brother's house, so it was nice. We didn't have to pay for like anything, which is perfect when you're a new couple on a budget. But so we get in the car and we go. My acid at this point is getting so bad. Like, it hurts so bad, and it's not even like I don't feel nauseated or anything. I feel like I'm burping, and it's just nasty. It's disgusting, and I hate it. I want it to go away. So we get to the park, and my aunt and my uncle want to eat at City Walk in that little square where they have Panda Express, they have Moe's, they have Bread Box, they have Burger King, and there's like this tattoo ink shop or whatever. And it's a clothing shop as well down there. But it's all right in City Walk right before you get into Universal and Islands. So we go there, and I tell them, I'm like, I'm not hungry. They're like, well, get a sandwich and eat what you can. It's not a big deal. So I'm like, all right. And then I proceed to eat a little bit of my sandwich. Like, I had some bread and a little bit of turkey, and I'm like, I literally cannot eat the rest of this. Like, my heartburn is so bad. I can't do it. So I gave my husband the rest of my sandwich because he can down anything, even though he's a twig, and I hate that about him. Very jealous. But I just can't eat a thing at this point, and I'm not even feeling nauseous. I just feel like I'm burping, and then right before we're about to get up and leave, I burp, and I don't only burp, but I throw up all over Bread Box. And I'm like, oh my god, like, it was bad too. Couldn't even go into the bathroom because someone was in the bathroom at the time. So I like threw up all over my shoes, and I had these cute flip-flops on. I had to throw those away. My aunt offered to go buy me new ones, so I got new ones at City Walk, so I was walking around barefoot, and it was kind of embarrassing. But anyways, I was like, okay, I feel a lot better after I threw up, oddly enough. And my aunt was like, please don't go into the park. I'm like, listen, I actually think that I got out what I needed to. I think that I was just sick from something, and I think I can tackle the day now. And she's like, all right. And I'm really stubborn. So I did anyways. I went into the park. We went to Islands of Adventure, and the first ride that we went on was the Hulk. Because it's like right there when you get into the park, into Islands, it's like the first ride. So we get on that and we go around, and it was amazing. It was a fantastic ride, and I did not feel sick at all. And then we got off, and I'm still feeling good, and they're like, listen, let's go on again one more time if you're up to it and everything, because we're here. And I was like, all right, fine, I feel fine. So we go on again, only in the back row this time. So we get the front and we get the back, and this time we're getting back to the loading station as the ride is coming to a stop, and I'm like, oh no. I feel really nauseous. And I'm trying to ignore it, and I'm like, okay, just breathe a little bit. I tell everyone, oh my god, I'm starting to feel nauseous. I've not felt this way yet today. It's just been acid. I'm kind of nervous right now. And they're like, all right, breathe. We'll be off in just a second. Because we were like at the end of the ride. We weren't still moving or anything. We were getting into the loading station, but it took them a while. So I legitimately, as we were going into the station, was throwing up, and I was like literally swallowing it. And it was, ugh, I don't like thinking about it right now. But I didn't want to cause a scene or do anything on the ride to end up in my brother's incident reports, because he does them for the parks, and I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna be one of his incident reports. And surely enough, I couldn't handle it anymore, and right as everyone was unlatching their little seats, bleh, I tried so hard. So I get off of the ride and they shut it down. They're like, we're experiencing technical difficulties. And I'm like, oh my god, that was me. It wasn't motion sickness. I never get sick off of rides. I am a coaster fanatic. I don't feel dizzy ever. I don't ever get headaches. I don't ever, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not like that on rides. So I knew something was up. I either had food poisoning or a little bit of a bug from someone on like the airplane or from anywhere else that we've been, because we'd actually been to the Disney parks as well at this time. I didn't know what it was, and my aunt told me, listen, you need to go back. And I did. I was at this point feeling so ill. I don't know what. It was like I didn't know what hit me, because I had the acid. I never had indication that I was going to throw up. And then all of a sudden I feel just so nauseous for the rest of the time we were there. So my aunt's like, come back with me. We're staying at Portofino Bay. You can come lay in my bedroom and you can go take a shower, get cleaned up. We'll go wash your clothes, because I had throw up all over my clothes too, because I was sitting down right in front of me. Yeah. And it was disgusting. I walked around in the park like that after I cleaned it off, but you could tell still that there were discoloration. I was wearing a white shirt, not a good decision. So we get back to my aunt's hotel, and then I take a shower, and at this point I'm like, okay. But then an hour later, after I've been laying down, I just start vomiting everywhere, and then it's coming out the other way too, and I'm literally going from standing up to sitting down, standing up to sitting down, and it's just a mess in there. Oh my god, I lost all of my fluids. It went on for the rest of the night like that. I had to go into the ER in Orlando, which was a terrible hospital, may I add. It took them an hour to put my IV back in after they unhooked me to get a urine sample. I gave them the urine sample. It took them an hour and a half to collect that, and they didn't give me my IV fluids. I was already admitted for about an hour and a half. And they also didn't tell my family, they didn't tell my husband or my sister that I had gotten a room literally an hour after I got my room. And they were waiting for someone to tell them when I did and what room I was in. So that was wonderful. It took them 5.5 hours to basically tell me I either had a bug or food poisoning, which obviously I already knew that. I definitely needed those IV fluids, but they took forever to put them in. I was stopped halfway through with the fluid to get a urine sample, and then they took forever to put it back in, and I really needed it. I was so dehydrated. I was vomiting stomach acid the whole night. It was bad. Needless to say, my Islands of Adventure trip kind of went downhill, and I shut down the ride, and everyone was really mad at me. I think people knew. They were staring at me as I was coming out of the ride, and it wasn't a good time, and I feel very bad. I'm sorry, Universal, and I'm sorry, workers that was operating the Hulk that day. I didn't mean to vomit all over your coaster, and I just feel really bad because my husband didn't get to see Islands, and I really wanted to ride Kong, all the new rides there, but I know I'll be able to go again soon, so that's good. If my brother continues to work at the parks, I know that I'm not gonna miss out on anything. I know we're gonna be able to go again, so that's good. I'm happy about that. The day after was the day we were supposed to go to Magic Kingdom all day, and I had all these fast passes set out and everything, and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be in this hospital, get my IV fluids, get everything to stop, just gonna drink Gatorade and water the entire day, and I'm going to Magic Kingdom. I am going. And that is what we did. We went at 5 p.m. because I was not gonna miss it. I was gonna get on those rides that I wanted to ride, with my husband. We literally went on Space Mountain the day after, Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain. We did all the mountains, and we did a couple other rides, like we did Pirates, we did Haunted Mansion, we did like the classics, and I am just so happy that we did, because I would have felt so bad if I couldn't at least do that. That was the highlight of my whole trip. We got to see Elsa light up the castle, and it was just absolutely wonderful, and I feel like I am a trooper because I went to Magic Kingdom the day after I was in the ER. So and I didn't eat a thing that day. I didn't eat for like 3 days. I was that bad. So it goes to show you, if you really want something and you are persistent enough, it's gonna happen. Like, my stomach, it had to be obedient, or else I would have kicked it and been like, listen, it's gonna happen no matter what. You are going to Magic Kingdom because that is what your brain wants, and that's what my heart wants. So you're gonna have to suck it up there, Tom Tom. Alright guys, well, that was my story time about how I threw up on the Hulk and became my brother's incident report. So if you like this story, please give this a like and give me a comment down below on what you want to see next for me. I think I'm gonna do some more story times, and I might even do a new top 10 list on like Disney rides that I really like, my favorite things. So just let me know, because I'm actually a really big Disney fan. But yeah, or I could do an update video, whatever, because I have a lot of new updates in my life. I'm filming in my new apartment, so yeah. I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye bye.